Hey, welcome. Today we're talking about something I think almost every English learner has felt. You know that moment where you can understand everything perfectly, but then when you try to speak, the words just get stuck. We're going to talk about how to build a bridge over that gap so you can finally speak with the confidence you want.
So, does this hit home for you? You've done the work, you know the grammar, you've memorized the vocabulary, but when someone asks you a question, your mind just goes blank. It's so frustrating, right? But listen, you are absolutely not alone in this. It is an incredibly common feeling.
And there's a name for it. We call it the fluency gap. It's that space between knowing a language in your head and actually using it in a conversation. But here's the good news, okay? It's not a permanent problem. There's a clear, practical way to close this gap for good, and we're going to walk through it step by step.
All right, so here's the plan. We'll start by really understanding this fluency gap. Then we'll get into some easy wins by mastering everyday phrases. After that, I'm going to show you a super powerful training method called shadowing, how to make it fun with stories, and then we'll wrap it all up with the right mindset to make it all stick.
Okay, first things first. Let's talk about the real building blocks of a conversation. You know, true fluency isn't about using big, complicated words. It's about making those simple, common phrases so automatic that you don't even have to think about them. That's how you free up your brain to actually focus on what you want to say. And check this out. This shows you exactly what I mean. How are you isn't wrong, of course, but how's it going is what you're actually going to hear people say. And little swaps, like saying got it instead of I understand, well, that's what makes you sound less like a textbook and more like a real person. But it goes deeper than just sounding casual. These kinds of phrases, they build a real connection. When you say something like hang in there or no worries, you're not just trading information. You're showing you care. You're showing you're really listening. That's huge. So the big question is, how do we get these phrases to become automatic? Well, that brings us to our main training method today. It's a technique called shadowing. Seriously, think of this as your personal training for fluency, getting your mouth and your mind to finally sync up. Now, the key here is you're not just listening and then repeating. No. You are speaking at the exact same time as the recording, just a split second behind. What this does is it builds muscle memory. It literally trains your mouth to make the sounds and the rhythm of English without you having to consciously think about it. And just so you know, this isn't just some random tip I found online. This is a proven technique. Actual research shows that shadowing leads to real, measurable improvements in your pronunciation, how well people understand you, and even how well you listen. But is it boring? I mean, it sounds like a drill, right? Well, not according to learners. In one study, when they were asked how much they actually liked shadowing, they gave it an average of 7.6 out of 9. That tells me it's not only effective, but people actually enjoy doing it. So, you want to try it? Here's how you do it. It's a simple 5-step process. First, find a short piece of audio, just 1 to 3 minutes, with a transcript. Then, you just play the audio and speak along with it. The key is to really copy the speaker's rhythm, their emotion, and finally, try recording yourself. It's a great way to hear your progress. Okay, so what's the secret to actually sticking with a powerful exercise like shadowing? Well, you have to make it fun. And honestly, the best way to do that is to use content that you genuinely enjoy, like a really good story. Think about a story like The Lighthouse Keeper. It's slow, it's calm, it's atmospheric. When you shadow a story like this, it feels less like a chore and more like a peaceful escape. It makes practice something you actually look forward to. And the best part is, there are so many great resources out there just for this. You can look for channels like MJ English or podcasts like Jenny's English Podcast. They create stuff specifically for learners, and they often give you the transcript so you can jump right in and start shadowing. All right, let's get to the final piece of the puzzle, your mindset. This is the glue that holds all these techniques together, because honestly, without the right attitude, even the best methods in the world won't work. So the single most important shift you can make is this. Forget about practicing for hours at a time. One coach told a story about a student who only practiced for 5 minutes a day, just 5 minutes. And that small, consistent effort led to this huge breakthrough in her confidence. It just proves that a little bit every single day is what really builds momentum. And for those days when you feel like you're not getting anywhere, remember this. The grind is never wasted. Every single minute you spend practicing is like laying another brick in a foundation. You might not see the whole building yet, but I promise you, you are building towards that breakthrough. And that brings us to maybe the most powerful idea of all. You have to stop comparing yourself to other people. This isn't a race. You're not behind anyone. You are on your own path in the process of becoming that fluent, confident speaker you want to be. Every single step is progress. So, closing that fluency gap, that journey doesn't start tomorrow or next week. It starts right now with just one small choice. So, what's it going to be? What's the one phrase you'll practice or the one story you'll listen to today? That's your first step. Go for it.